Do you want to become an unstoppable juggernaut with no respect for the laws of men? Maybe you fancy throwing silly concepts like consent out the window as you stroll into a bandit camp and proceed to do literally whatever you want with no possible consequences. Well, today I'm going to show you how to do just that, and it's actually really quick and easy to set up from the second you unlock flying and with only a 2 talent point investment. Now I'm going to be honest, when I first saw the potion system in Hogwarts Legacy, I thought, yeah, that's a cool gimmick, but I'm not going to run around the whole map to farm ingredients for potions that only work for a few seconds. Almost immediately I took that entire aspect of the game and shoved it in the darkest corner of my mind, and I never thought about it again. I didn't really care to waste a bunch of time collecting ingredients and brewing potions when I could just sling spells at people. It turns out though that all the ingredients for the 2 most overpowered potions in the game are essentially right next to each other. It only takes about 5 minutes to collect enough ingredients to brew an entire inventory of potions, and later in the video I'll show you the quickest method to gather those ingredients. Y'all, when I tell you I was absolutely missing out for my entire first playthrough, I mean it. Kinda like you'll be missing out if you don't hit that like button and subscribe for more helpful Hogwarts Legacy content. So this whole build revolves around the Edurus and Focus potions and their respective mastery talents. The Edurus potion in particular is extremely overpowered because its mastery talent is available right off the bat and makes you completely invulnerable to damage and reflects enemy spells back on them. It's essentially God mode in a bottle, and it's so ridiculously fun to use just on its own. The fact that the ingredients are ridiculously quick to farm is just icing on the cake. If you really want to take things to the next level though, look no further than the Focus potion. This potion turns Hogwarts Legacy into a true power fantasy where you don't have to worry about silly cooldown timers. Why use little spell when big spell work good? The Focus potion is honestly great on its own, so don't let the fact that its mastery talent isn't available until level 22 deter you from using it early on. Once you have that mastery talent unlocked though, this potion becomes almost as broken as the Edurus potion. The Focus mastery talent allows your Focus potion duration to be extended every time you cast a spell. This means that the potion that allows you to spam all of your spells stays active for the entire time that you're spamming all of your spells. When you combine both the Edurus and Focus potions, you become an absolute force of nature. It literally doesn't matter what other spells or talents you use because you're an untouchable whirlwind of high damage spells. Now this all sounds great and all, but is it really worth spending half your time farming potion ingredients? Well, even if that was the case, I'd argue that it's fun enough to be worth it. Luckily though, as I said in the beginning of the video, it takes about 5 minutes of work to farm enough ingredients to fill your tool inventory and run through multiple bandit camps, infamous foes, or whatever else you need to do. I'm actually going to hop onto a very fresh character who just unlocked flying to show you how quick and easy this is to get rolling very early on. The first thing you'll need is access to the Room of Requirement in order to brew your potions. If you're just starting out on a new character, I recommend saving all of your gear drops from before you unlock the Room of Requirement to sell at Glad Rags to make some extra money to buy the items that you need for the room. Also, as soon as you unlock the Disillusionment charm and are able to walk around Hogsmeade, scour the entire town for Disillusionment chests with the big eye in the middle. These give you 500 gold apiece and the town is littered with them. Revelio is definitely your friend here, just look for all the big glowing chests. If you don't find enough chests in town, there's also a lot of them in the castle, so be on the lookout for them while you're exploring Hogwarts. Between all of the chests and your gear drops, you should be able to purchase the spellcrafts for the potting table with 2 large pots and the T-shaped potion station from Tomes and Scrolls. Then you're going to want to head over to the Magic Neep and pick up the Flexweed seed to plant in your large pots. Once you've got your spellcrafts and seeds, head over to the Room of Requirement and place at least 2 of the double large pot herbology tables and as many T-shaped potion stations as you can afford. If you run out of Moonstone, don't forget that you can cast Evanesco on basically every piece of decoration and furniture that the room comes stock with for somewhere around 100 extra Moonstone. Go ahead and plant the Flexweed in all of your large pots, and while those are growing, we're going to go gather the rest of the ingredients for our potions. So all of our potion ingredients are going to be in the small area right here, and I'm going to show you the most efficient route to get everything rounded up. We're going to start off at the West Hogwarts Valley Flue Flame and then head over to the Dugbog lair nearby. The Dugbogs are by far the most annoying part of this entire process, but we're going to go ahead and clear them out real fast and make sure to counter with Stupefy to open them up for damage. Once you've got them all mopped up, make sure to use Revelio so you don't miss any of the Dugbog tongues laying on the ground, and then we're going to head over to this mongrel lair nearby. Now generally you're going to get 9 to 10 mongrel fur per lair, and usually you're going to find several mongrels wandering around the area to the east, and you'll be able to walk away with at least 12. This time I was a little bit unlucky and didn't find any extras, but that's okay. From here we're going to fly across the river to this little outcrop and start grabbing lacewing flies. You'll find 2 on the shore immediately, then a whole slew of them in the area surrounding this cabin. You're going to want to use Revelio again here until you kind of get a feel for where all the lacewing flies are in this area, and also keep a lookout for monster spawns. There's usually a Dugbog and a couple of mongrels that spawn in this area. From the lacewing flies we're going to fly back across the river and towards this Merlin puzzle where we're going to find a cliff with 2 Ashwinder eggs nearby. From there we're going to fly to the next nearest Merlin's puzzle where we're going to find 9 Ashwinder eggs. Again, use Revelio here until you kind of figure out where all the eggs spawn. There's also another 2 Ashwinder eggs near the Merlin puzzle by the Quidditch field, so fly up there if you want them. Once you've got all the Ashwinder eggs that you want, go ahead and hang out next to one of their spawns and rest until they respawn. It should take 7 to 8 rests, and once they respawn, so will everything else along the route. Now it's simply a matter of collecting all the eggs again and going along the route in reverse order. From the Ashwinder eggs, fast travel to the Flue Point at the cabin across the river for the Lacewing, to the Mongrel lair, and end of the Dugbog lair. You'll want to head back to the Ashwinder eggs to do your rest after the reverse run, because if you rest near the lair, the monsters won't respawn. This whole process from start start to finish, including doubling back along the route, took me just under 12 minutes unedited, so right around 6 minutes per trip, which is actually a bit slower than my average. I typically end up with 13 Ashwinder eggs, 13 to 15 Mongol fur, 7 or 8 Dugbog tongues, and a whole ton of lacewing after each one-way trip. That's enough for a full inventory of 12 Edurus potions and about 7 focus potions each way. I should note that I use significantly less focus potions than Edurus potions because of the focus mastery talent refreshing their duration, so it's actually pretty even. Once you've completed your return trip, your fluxweed should be about ready to harvest, so we'll head back to the room of requirement to start brewing. Harvest all your fluxweed, head over to your potion stations, and get to mixing. If you do 2 trips while your fluxweed is growing, you should have more than enough ingredients for a full inventory of both potions, with some left over to have on standby. That's really all there is to it, and if you do this process just a few times, you're going to have more potion ingredients than you know what to do with. When you finally do run out, it's just a matter of a quick jaunt to stock up. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, folks. If you feel like I've earned it, make sure to drop a like and maybe even consider subscribing if you haven't already. And until next time, peace.